Hello everyone, welcome to Lockdown Season. Today we talk about Sino-U.S. relations at George Bush administration from the year 2000 to 2008 and its ups and downs, characterized with changes in comparison of mutual national powers. The first clashes at the beginning. In the year of 2000, George Bush was elected as a U.S. president, and his policy to China was different from his father, Bush Sr., who had worked in Beijing, especially affectionate to China, and also was called old friend of Chinese people. At the beginning of George Bush administration, America identified three challenging threats to its national security, which were China, terrorism, and weapons of mass destruction. Meanwhile, China and America stood off on human rights and Taiwan issue. On April 1, 2001, an U.S. EP-3 reconnaissance aircraft flew close to China's coastline from South China Sea and collided with Chinese F-8 aircraft that undertaking interception, resulted in the death of a Chinese pilot, Wang Wei, and serious damage to American airplanes too, with the first two land at the Lingshui Airport, China's Hainan Island, yet without getting permission. And 24 American crews on board were detained by China. Then the EP-3 aircraft was dismantled and carried back to America by an rented An-124 long-range transportation plane from Russia. The second is the 911 incident. On September 11, 2001, Twin Tower of the World Trade Center was attacked by terrorists, with victims of more than 3,000 and the loss over $200 billion. On September 14th, the U.S. House of Representatives authorized the use of force on terrorism. On October 7th, American and British armies waged military attacks to Taliban government in Afghanistan and Al-Qaeda groups of Bin Laden. 10 years later, as on May 1st, 2011, the U.S. SEAL Special Forces killed Bin Laden. And after another 10 years, in August 2021, American army withdrew in a hurry from Kabul airport, Afghanistan. Within 20 years, America had spent over $2 trillion in the war, and with thousands of casualties, it failed in its initial target. After the 9/11 incident, U.S.-China policy began to change. President Bush promised China that Sino-U.S. relations were mature and with mutual respect and crucial to the world. America was willing to see China as a prosperous, strong, and peace-loving, cooperative with America against terrorism. The third one is China joined WTO. In November 2001, after 15 years of negotiations, China joined the World Trade Organization for further reform, opening, and economic routes. Since year 2001 to 2009, China has developed to be the largest export country from the six, the second largest economy, and the second largest import country in the world. First is the war on Iraq. On March 20, 2003, the 180,000 Allied forces, mainly by American and British armies, waged war on Iraq with the excuses of weapons of mass destruction and its support to terrorism. This military attack to Iraq didn't get authorization from UN Security Council and didn't find any WMD weapons. And the evidence that U.S. State Secretary Powell showed in a testimony was later verified as just a small bottle of washing powder. America did not justify itself for this war. During the war, America suffered casualties of 9,000, injured 56,000, cost of $700 $63 million, and with hundreds of thousands of Iraqi civilians died and 4.8 million refugees. Furthermore, after collapse of Saddam Hussein regime in Iraq, a Sinai sect of Muslim was replaced by Shia Muslim. And Iran, that mostly ruled by Shia, greatly increased influences in Iraq and supported its own forces. And America was entangled in dilemma in Iraq and in the Middle East. Fifth is China's anti-secession law. In the year of 2000, the DPP candidate Chen Shui-bian, who had been advocating Taiwan independence, won the election, and soon he called for a referendum for Taiwan's future. In March 2005, Chinese government passed anti-secession law. For the first time, it declared Taiwan issue could be settled in unpeaceful way under three conditions. The first was the reality of Taiwan independence. The second was crucial incidents leading to Taiwan's independence. The third, when nothing possible with peaceful efforts. The passage of this law demonstrated China's strong will to defend for its sovereignty and territorial integrity. Nobody, no organization, no party, nor at any time, nor by any way, any piece of land could be taken away from China. The sixth is Hurricane Katrina. In August 2005, Hurricane Katrina ravaged the South of America, damaged seriously to the New Orleans, Louisiana. And during the hurricane, there were 53 locations on the anti-flood levees broke, numerous houses, and the people plunged into the waters. The powers were cut off, resulted in property loss for $108 billion. The death toll to 1,833, almost millions homeless. The previous city of happy life turned to be a hell. After investigation, the collapse of the levees were partly due to the sloppy works of the project, which didn't meet the criteria as required. The U.S. Army Engineering Corps, who designed and kept maintenance, should be accountable for it. After the catastrophe, the rescue and reconstruction were slow. Relief funds and distribution were in argument. Some media disclosed that fraud and the misuse of the government money were popular. Seventh is Hu Jintao's visit to America. In April 2006, the Chinese leader Hu Jintao visited America. His first stop was Seattle, where he visited Microsoft and Boeing companies. And China just ordered 80 Boeing airplanes before Hu's departure. On April 20th, the White House held a welcome ceremony, and when the band played China's national anthem, it wrongly took the anthem for Republic of China at Taiwan. During Hu's speech at the South Lawn of the White House, a Falun Gong member rushed out to protest. In the following conversation, Hu presented George Bush a refined bilingual book, The Art of War, which was interpreted as China's reminding to America, be cautious of war. George Bush told Hu that he often worried another terrorist attack to America, so he did suffer insomnia. Then he asked what Hu worried about. Hu told him that what concerned him most was how to create 25 million new working posts every year. After hearing the answer, Bush praised Hu as being honest and practical. The 8th Wenchuan earthquake. On May 12, 2008, an earthquake of magnitude of 8 Richter occurred at Wenchuan County, Sichuan Province, China, resulted in 70,000 deaths and 300,000 injuries, with property loss over 800 billion renminbi. China undertook rescue and relief works nationwide, and all the donations from home and abroad were about 59.4 billion renminbi. The ninth is U.S. financial crisis. In August 2008, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the two mortgage loan companies, inflicted stock price slump. And the financial institutions that held their bonds and securities suffered a great loss. U.S. Treasury Department and Federal Reserve were forced to take over as two companies. Meanwhile, another two top investment banks, Lehman and Merrill Lynch, were also in big trouble. With Lehman got bankrupt and Merrill Lynch merged with the Bank of America. AIG, American and International Groups, the world's largest insurance company, couldn't run its daily business, and the U.S. government had to bail it out. The American financial crisis in 2008 caused the most severe recession for the past decade, a disaster to world economy and a turning point from prime time to decline for American economy and national power. The 10th is Beijing Olympic Games. And on 9th August 8, 2008, Beijing held the opening ceremony of 29th Olympic Games, which drew world attention. The ceremony was gorgeous with fireworks shining over the night, and the Bird's Nest Olympic Stadium became a great world of joy. From ancient land to modern miracle, this ceremony presented China history and culture for the past 1,000 years. Choreography mingled with the Olympic spirits. As a grand sport gala, Beijing Olympics demonstrated China's amazing Oriental charm, witnessed the prosperity of China's reform and opening, boosted China's self-confidence in the world, and witnessed the rise and revival of China as a great nation. In retrospect, since the year of 2000 to 2008 of George Bush administration, America experienced a 9/11 terrorist attack, the wars on Afghanistan and on Iraq, Hurricane Katrina, and a financial crisis in 2008. In comparison, China joined WTO since 2001, endeavored to do its own business, to increase its strength, and to finally succeed in holding Beijing Olympic Games. And from then came the cross point in the balance of Sino-U.S. development and national power. Here comes the end of today's program, and thanks for your watching, and see you next time. Thank you, bye.